Okay, here we go. Fast track number 7, marketing your listing and holding open houses. And now we get to the fun stuff of real estate and that. And so we've got today, we've got Thursday, we've got Monday, and then you are UB graduates. Yay. So congratulations. So then you can go out and make a bunch of money. So follow the marketing plan. Have a written marketing plan help you get the listing. Now it's even more important for you selling the house. So why is a marketing plan important? You have a marketing plan for how you're going to market the house, what you're going to do, and as you put together a doors presentation, it helps you to put that together. It's important because it keeps you on track. So if you tell people you're going to do something, it keeps you on track. You got to work on that. It gives the seller assurance of your efforts that the seller knows what you're going to do. And I would say, if you're going to use it, market the Matterport, and if you don't have a link for it, I'll send it to you. Just hang on to a link for that. You can send it to any clients. Hey, here's one of the things we're doing that nobody else is, and it sells homes. But the seller knows what you're going to do. So why are they paying you these big bucks? Well, here's what we're doing. It ensures critical tasks will not be overlooked in your marketing efforts. It establishes a system for accomplishing the tasks and communicating results. Again, keep in mind, so right now, it's a seller's market. We know that a properly priced home, we don't have a problem getting it sold, but markets change. So if you do the same thing, if you do good habits now, when the market changes and it's more a buyer's market, you're in a better position because you've been practicing good habits, you haven't taken shortcuts to this point, so that when the market changes and it's more of a buyer's market, or more of a regular market, then you're already adept at those things. You have to learn how to do those again because you're already doing them. You do them on every listing, you do them on every time you do it, and you just show consistency and strength in there. It allows others to handle some of the tasks and communications if needed. So what should be in the marketing plan it's not the same as your doors portfolio. It is different. Set expectations with the sellers during your presentation of what you're going to do, how you're going to market the house, how you're going to be different, how you're going to stand out. Adjust your strategies as needed during the listing period. If they want to price it too high, then you may need to make some adjustments in how you're going to market and what you're going to do. What you do is, if they're priced too high, is call them up every Friday and say, hey, we're not getting much action here, so I'm going to put on broker's tour again. I want the agents to see it every week. And once they get tired of broker's tours and open houses, they may decide to adjust their price and what they're going to do there. But always be prepared to adjust your strategies of what you're going to do.
And not only that, broker tour, even if they don't give you the sheets here, they give them to you in Antioch, so we can have our own little sheets where you get the broker's price opinions.
Yes.
So you can actually get them to write down what they liked about the house and what they didn't like. And a lot of times they can put price adjustment on there, so that your sellers can see.
You need to show those to the sellers.
And the other opinions.
Yep.
That's a great tool.
Also use the price trend analysis to update pricing regularly if needed. If they're not getting the picture there, you want to do that. You want to work with the sellers to adjust strategies for getting the property sold. So price improvements, property showcasing improvements, things you're doing. Those are key things. So you've always got to be looking for ways. Again, this market's not difficult, but markets change. So you've always got to be prepared and working and planning on those things there. Also, schedule out your events. So I'm going to do this, this, and this. Ideally, you want to take a listing, you want 10 days to go, so you can send out just listed cards. You can get sign in the ground, get stuff going there, do a broker's tour, do the open houses, and have a good lead in there for that. But schedule those events, put them in your calendar, talk to the sellers. So we'll do this, then we'll do this, then we'll do this, then we'll do this, then we'll do this. I did that with the Tehachapi because they said, hey, we got to get this thing moving. So I said, okay, we're going to do Tuesday broker's tour, Thursday broker's tour, Saturday open house, Sunday open house, and hopefully by Tuesday we've got offers. And we did. So We send out postcards. The postcards are more for our business than theirs, but once we get it sold, we'll send out just sold postcards as well and follow up with that. So you may need to refresh the information on the PTA, especially if new comps come out and put that information into there. And Maggie just used PTA today, put it together for her listing that she's working on getting, and it gave great information. What?
Price analysis.
Oh.
PTA, price trend analysis.
Yeah, Parent Teacher Association, that's what I heard first.
I was like, what? Why are we part of the
I had to look
PTA?
down.
How did you get in with that? Wouldn't that be Jessica's thing? She's the parent. What's going on?
Okay, so
Sorry.
focus.
You can cut that out.
Communication and feedback. Your job is to do everything possible to get the home sold and implement the agreed upon marketing plan. Remember, the most cited problem with real estate agents is what? Give me a simple word for it. Same problem in marriages. Communication. Communication. Communicate. And don't assume. So my people went to Tehachapi. He was a police officer. He was a sergeant for years. Very competent. He ran a lot of stuff within the department. And he's just like scared of everything, just not sure what happens next, what to do next, and just I assumed that they were very adept, but they're not. Every time I talk to him about something else, he's got 6 other questions, which is fine, but it's just reminding me I need to be as proactive as I can with communication, not assume that they have it all together, they understand all the processes. So today he talked about, well, we got this place we can rent, but when should we, lock that in? It's like, not yet, give it a little bit of time. They haven't done the appraisal yet, so let's get the appraisal done, let's get the reports back, let's see if they want for repairs, let's get some of those contingencies removed, and then we can do that. So that communication thing is, I see that hand. Yes.
That's my question.
Yes.
Okay. But do we have anything that explains better the process to buyers and sellers? So I got the folder,
Okay.
and I met with a buyer yesterday, and I grew up in the business, so I know what an escrow company is, and I know what escrow does, and all that stuff, and lenders, and I know all the terms,
Right.
right? But when I was talking to him, I just figured it was something everybody knew, so I was talking to him about escrow, and we were talking about the timeline and all that, and he's like, what does escrow mean? What does appraisal mean?
I think there's a buyer and a seller guide, right? We have a buyer and a seller guide.
Well, and I gave that to him, but it doesn't really explain what escrow
So what you're going to
means.
do is if you're using or Republic Harbor, say,
Say
hey,
something
what
handy.
I need your what is escrow guide, and they can
Right.
send it over, print those up, put that in there. Yeah, we assume that everybody understands what those things mean,
Right.
and they don't always mean
I was
that.
like,
Yeah. So those are the things. That's part of your marketing thing, so they understand, what this process is. Talking about wiring the funds. His question today was because they're closing and their other one's not going to be ready for several months, so they're going to have to rent. He said, so where should the money go? Where's the best place for it to go? In a bank account? I said, wherever you're going to send money from for the purchase, it should go into that account. So just kind of helping to figure out all
And then
that.
they can even put it in an interest-bearing account within the title.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of different, and you don't know what kind of customer you're working with. They might want something like that rather than have it in
Yep.
their account, so.
and so that packet from escrow, it also talks about like vestings and stuff like that, because
It should have, so say, hey, send me everything that a buyer or seller would need to know that they would understand. And then you can look at all the stuff and see what you want to use and not use, because there's some good stuff that, Andy does pretty good with emailing stuff out, regularly, so does Candace and that. So those are good things to have in there. Obviously, they're branded with the company, but at least it gives them the information that they can look through and understand what it is. And in terms of escrow, I just explained, escrow is a neutral party that takes the instructions from the contracts, and they make sure that everything is done according to contract, and they're keeping everybody honest and keeping everything, going forward. And they're that neutral party to bring it to a close.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
what I said, and he was like, "Oh, why didn't you just say that?" I was like, "Okay, so the neutral party company." I was like, it just feels longer. I'm just gonna say escrow.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know. If it
Yep,
was-
and then same thing with title insurance. The title insurance is in case somewhere in the chain of command of things, the things, property's changed in hand and that, somebody messed up and somebody doesn't have title and it gets sold and somebody comes back in and says, hey, wait a minute, that's mine. Title insurance makes sure that they are whole. It may not mean that they keep the house, but it would mean that they would be made
Or
whole.
sometimes there's a cloud on the title.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, so.
sometimes it's a probate or, yeah.
But communicate. Call always or text. So my one with the Tehachapi started with text back and forth, and then so we call and text fairly regularly on that. But make sure you're communicating, boy, probably every other day, and then just let people know there's this part in the whole thing, especially for the seller, where you get it into contract, they do their inspections, and then for the seller, you just kind of sit there and twiddle your thumbs for a little while, because there's just nothing. Inspection reports and request repairs are being looked at and thought through, and the lender's doing their thing, and it's like, is anything happening? Is anything happening? And sometimes it's just, give a call to the lender and say, hey, just want to see if we're all on track, everything's good. Yeah, okay. Hey, just talk to their lender. Things are going on track. Things are looking fine. So just a reassurance call is just really important. Inform the sellers about marketing activities. Let them know what you're doing, how you're using the phones, text message, or use a system of phone calls, text messages, in-person visits. Keep informed. Solicit feedback from showings, particularly if you've got a poorly priced house. Use the broker tour to kind of bring them into reality. Is that, hey, I had 15 agents through, and they all thought $1 million for your 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
That's Walnut Creek, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, in on A Street, Antioch is probably the bottom. So,
D Streets works.
yeah, pick one. Again, using the agents and that sort of stuff, price recommendations, clean, and sometimes you've got people that they just don't get it in terms of prepping the house to get ready. So it's always nice. That's why I like taking Emily for the Matterport stuff, because we kind of make. She's me. She just says, hey, this thing it shows everything, so it's really got to be clean. Less is better, and she kind of goes through and does that. And then what I do at the end is I kind of joke, is like, I would have never been that hard on you, but but we joke, we make light of it, because we've just told them, hey, you got too much furniture, it's too big, the place is a mess, it needs some work. And so we try to lighten it a little bit, but also that it's very serious, that if we're going to get it sold, we need a little help on our end. So Emily and I looked at one how we knocked on some doors in our neighborhood that we're marketing to, and house from Weirs at the door, but she's considering selling. So we talked to her some, and we walked away from it. I said, so we're gonna have one issue on that house. She goes, what's that? I said, oh, you didn't smell it? She goes, no. I said, yeah, there's a smoker in the house. You could smell it when the door was open.
You can smell it, can't sell it.
Yeah. But you have to have those conversations with people that
Uncomfortable sometimes.
yeah, uncomfortable. I'm not judging that you smoke. However, we gotta fix the smell, and you gotta smoke outdoors, because if we're gonna sell it, some people, you're gonna have 30% of the people, 40% of the people, whatever, are gonna walk in the house, be 5 steps in, and they say it's not the house for me because I'm never gonna get rid of the smell, and they're gonna turn around. So we gotta be proactive and take care of that. And these people just had brand new carpet put in and probably a new pad, and it's already, that smell is probably in there. So it's gonna take some work to get it out of there. Let's see. Servicing listings, there's a seller's control sheet that you can use for tracking what you're doing. And I believe it's on Weichert 1 in working with seller section. And again, that's a moving target a little bit right now as they're getting everything all switched over to the website.
There's a bunch of stuff printed on this side too before you get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's like papers in there.
There's stuff in there you can look through. This may be in there too as well. But it's got on the contact information, and I would always say, put your buyers and sellers' contact information into your phone right away. Phone numbers, email addresses, National Geographic, a dinosaur fossils found in Egypt. Okay.
Oh, is it your brother?
What?
But I'm done.
Yeah.
'Cause you
So, what was I saying? Now you think
How old? His hair's gray, but he still has some.
wow. Wow.
This is so fun.
So, but put your information in your phone, and so you've got that right away, because can't tell you the number of times that, go to call them and it's like, I didn't put the number, put it in right away. And there's also pricing information, checklist, stuff that, and then it helps you to manage your marketing plan, kind of keep you on track and tracking activities and results. So one of the things you want to know is what's working. So as you go to do other listings and stuff, you find out what things are working, what things aren't working. So so we found out from Saturday, again, it's a small sample, it was 21 homes. We had about 5 people open their doors and talk to us. So I'm expecting, we'll see, I'm expecting about a 25% open door rate if we go on a Saturday morning. So far we haven't got anybody that's kind of responded back with an email to sign up to get a 6-month ago. We did get one. She
We
said
have one.
she said to go ahead and do that. So we've got one. So it's about a 5% rate. So, but I want that to be up to closer to about 15 to 20%. So track your numbers. So you see what's working, see what's not working. So we also were the ones that opened the doors. We sent them a thank you note for opening the door and talking to us. So we followed up. So we had a postcard that was sent, a knock on the door, and a thank you card. So we've got 3 contacts for 5 of those homes. So we'll start to see how that all works out with communication and building stuff in there. Keep a copy of the control sheet in your file. Carry a file with you. When you have an open buyer or seller, you should have everything in a manila folder and taking that with you everywhere you go, because you never know they're going to call up and need some information. So just you got active files. Carry those ones with you in your briefcase or whatever you're carrying. Okay, so you've got that at all times, or on at least pictures of them on your phone so you can get to the information when you need it. So however you choose to do that. Different marketing media. One, the internet. It's the main source of exposure today. MLS is on there. Put multiple high quality photos in your listings. Just get good pictures. Put them in there. No toilets with open seats. Don't take pictures of their artwork. It doesn't tell them anything about the home. It's like, okay, they got nice artwork. Who cares? Avoid real estate jargon or abbreviations. And Sue always gets on me that because I said, I'll talk to people and I'll say, yeah, I'll send you a CMA. And she goes, tell them it's a comparative market analysis, not a CMA. They don't know what that is. And explain what it is. So she always gets on me because she knows that I shouldn't be doing that because people don't understand what it is. So avoid real estate jargon. Be ready to respond immediately to online inquiries. The Op City thing, I found that if I hit it right away, I get a pretty good chance doing it. I got a buyer up to about 700,000 down to San Jose. They're probably about 6 months out. We'll find out more today, just because of not been in the job for 2 years. But we'll just keep working that. We'll just keep that lead warm until she's ready to go. And we'll may have picked up a $600,000 or $700,000 buyer from that. But same thing, respond to inquiries quickly, efficiently. Use inquiries to build your database for electronic farming. So people call in about something they're looking to buy, put them in your database, work them that way. Use the internet to your advantage on there. And one of those things I would, unless you're like on vacation and you can be gone or something like that, even that I would be cautious and careful with it. Try not to set up the out of office auto replies. it's better not to have response than to get a thing of, hey, I'm out of the office, I'm not talking, because they'll just move on to the next person. But if they've emailed you, they'll give it some time, and they're not getting an auto response back, they'll give it some time for you to respond. But so respond in a timely manner on that. On your phone, I know a lot of people say, hey, I work from 12 noon to 4 in the afternoon. If you're calling outside those hours, I'll call you the next day, next business day. I know it's not quite that bad, but I would just rather not have that sort of a message than and just not respond to those times, than to say, hey, I'm unavailable. So that's my personal preference on that. So internet syndication, we broadcast out when we go on MLS, it goes to Weichert, then also if our MLS doesn't, it goes to Realtor.com, Zillow, Homes.com, Trulia, Yahoo Real Estate, AOL Real Estate, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Home Finder, Oodle, Vast, Realtor Track, and other places. So
What's Oodle?
some sort of online, it's probably more of an East Coast one. But it goes to broadcast to all sorts of places. So people know when we put it on MLS, it broadcasts a very wide net, so people have a chance to find it and that. So you need to let them know that it's not just on MLS. It will go all sorts of places where people can find their listed, their home, where they can see the Matterport, the 3D tour on all those applications and that. So we have a good chance of reaching those people there. Also, our yellow color gets good look, but also make sure that I'm jumping ahead myself. That's for sale signs we're coming up next. But we do broadcast to a lot of places. Let people know that's important to them, and you never know where you're going to find them. For sale signs. Next to the internet, the most popular source of customer inquiries is the for sale sign. Place one or more yard signs on the property. Be sure they're clean, upright. Signposts or stakes should be freshly painted. So if our sign setter goes out and it's up and then you notice it's starting to lean, take steps to unlean it. Make it up you want to show. Jessica's it closed, so it's coming off the sign today, or off the property today. But her one by the school, some high school kid went by and just nailed it, and it's all bent up and all that. So I just saw it yesterday and it's like, oh man.
It's been out there for like a week and a half.
Has it?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, so if you notice your signs are damaged, take care of it or let us know. Be careful of too many writers. You don't want too much on there. One, if there's too much on there, they just can't read it all. Here's my rider for my information. I'm beautiful inside. Pool. Don't disturb the documents. Yes, just keep it as clean as you can. Maybe one on the top of the sign and one on the bottom of the sign, and try to keep it clean and that. If you put up an open house sign and you do the open house, take the open house sign down if you're not going to do one the next weekend. Because I've done that before. I put it up, open house, Saturday 1 to 4, and then took it down, and then they had people knock on the door the next week because I forgot to take it off, and yeah.
There's no bounds, right?
Yeah, so be careful.
Your sellers in those?
Yeah, well, so I won't put it on them because I should have taken it down. Any word on this? Sorry. Flyers, brochures, direct mail. Try to send out a just listed one for listings, run about 100 homes around the home, and then a just sold one. Also, you can put together brochures, direct mail, those sort of things. Those help sell the home, and you want to do that marketing there. But any marketing you say you're going to do. Don't say, I'm going to mail it to 100 homes, and then they talk to their neighbors, and the neighbors say, oh, we never got that. The really cool thing is we knocked on doors. My line was, hey, you should have received a postcard in the mail, hopefully with our picture on it. Oh yeah, I did. So that was kind of nice that they got it, they'd seen it and looked at it, and they recognized who we were. So, Weichert Lead Link, you can also do let's see, so that's a direct mail piece, and those are good to do, just listed, all that. You can also do home buyer seminars. And home buyer seminars, you can do it in conjunction with a lender, and they can work with them and help them, because most people that are coming to a home buyer seminar, so tell me who you would expect to come to a home buyer seminar.
First time home buyer.
First time buyers, okay? What else? What about the buyers, people that come to a home buyer seminar?
I would say
Well-
empty nesters would come too.
Okay,
Cause they have to buy and they,
Or people just curious, period.
Okay.
About what's going on in the market and they want
people
to
curious
get
about the market,
information.
okay. Probably people that have some credit challenges and issues who, or, they don't have a lot of money down, but they heard that's, money, but they heard somebody that got a loan where they didn't have need any money, and whether it's accurate or not,
Confused,
they're
yeah,
confused, they're trying to figure that out. So it's a good place to Steve LaRock. It's a good place and a good format. A lot of the people that come to a home buyer seminar are going to be people that you're going to need to kind of nurture that relationship for a while. They're probably not going to be ready to go right out of the gate, but they're people that could be down the road. And you could do mailings to apartment complexes. That's a good place to pick up people for home buyer seminar or do some advertising out there. It's a good strategy. It's a kind of a long-term fill the pipeline for down the road type of a thing, but I think it's a good, viable thing worth doing and worth to get some business. And for an open house, you might even open an open house. You might want to just have the following weekend you're going to do a home buying seminar. And that's a good way to talk to people. Hey, don't know where you're at, but we're going to do a home buying seminar next week and kind of help people to understand the process of buying a home. We'd love to have you come and do that. Here's where it's going to be, and we're going to have some, coffee refreshments. And that was just an idea that I thought it's not a bad thing to do, because you got a lot of people that may or may not understand where they are, and you're offering to help them figure that out right away. Paid advertisements. It's a declining promotional vehicle, newspaper, those sort of things. It's more of a listing tool than anything else. There's the Homes magazines. Maggie's done those, the new home thing before. She gets a lot of response from that, not necessarily for buying it for home, but for other business and that sort of thing. Telephone directory, I'm sure they still have those, but not a,
what?
yeah.
You mean like Google?
Yep. So those are different ways of marketing properties and those sort of things. Exposed to other agents, we talked about that. Open houses, open house brokers tours. Stop.
Grand Central Station.
Leave a message. Notify their agents, broker tours, those sort of things. We talked about that. We know the value of those. Those can be helpful, especially if you're have an out of area listing. Go the extra mile. I know it's a pain. Go the extra mile. Find out how to get down to the broker tour, what you need to do, and go and do it. It's worth the expense. Did that down in Hollister, and it really helped me to. I got to talk to some of the agents, got some good information. Gave us the information we needed to say what we needed to do a price adjustment on the house, because it was really hard to price. And she just the agent I talked to lived in the neighborhood said, the home was probably worth that, but you're never going to get an offer because it's just you're crossing a price point that just it doesn't exist in here. So you're probably not going to get any looks. So we adjusted it, and within a couple of weeks we had an offer, and the rest is history. So that was very helpful to go down and do that. And I got to know some of the agents down there and that. And now also, if I've got somebody that is going to move down there or need some help down there, I got a couple of them that I call up and say, hey, could you do this? And just, I'll take a referral on that. But if you could help them out, that saves me a 2-hour drive to go down to there, let them do it and service that and all that. So, so open houses. Regular open houses tell consumers you're active and working. Regular open houses for our listings and our signs out there tell the community we're active and working. Your open houses help other agents as well as yourself with future business because we're able to get out there and show that we're there because the sign is huge and all that. So why do we hold open houses? We hold them to sell the house. We hold them to satisfy the seller. We prospect for buyers and sellers. Those are fill in the blanks for those of you who are they?
No.
No? Oh, they got it there. And for, we market promote, we market promote the listing and we market promote ourselves. So those are important things why we do open houses. And we also help one another out when we've got those signs out there and we're working those with the balloons and all that. So 74% of attendees who bought a house within 6 months of attending, open house attendees bought a house within 6 months of attending their open houses. They've tracked for years people who come to their open houses, and they found that 74% of those who come to the Weichert open houses buy within 6 months of going to an open house. That's an amazing statistic. So there's a lot of business out there. So it's important that we understand that. You should try to hold at least 2 open houses per month. I know it's difficult right now because we don't get that many listings that are coming up. But as they do, try to work those, try to do those open houses, or try to do 3 because they are a good way of generating business, leads, and all that. Yes?
I have an open house opportunity with me on the 17th and then also on the 18th for my listing coming up. I'll be out of town on the 18th, so it's a Sunday.
Okay. Which listing do you have coming up?
It's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, that Pittsburgh one.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she just we're getting some stuff taken care of before we go on and have pictures and then
Okay.
I'm gonna need the Matterport, but yeah.
El Matador, or Matterport. What weekend?
It's the 17th,
Okay.
so I'm leaving for Disneyland that night. I'm staying with my mother-in-law anyway, so I won't be there on the 18th, but I'll be doing it again on the 24th and the 25th.
I will be in Reading on the 16th doing a wedding.
Woohoo!
I'll be there too.
Yep.
Well, then it's just me then I'll do it.
Oh, Bobby's already said.
Oh, Bobby's got it, yeah. The other one? Oh, that one you're doing by
Yeah.
yourself. We're gonna need some help.
I need help, yeah.
Okay, well, just let us know. Okay,
And then Maggie hopefully has
and then
some.
I'll have some too, but he wants to wait till Tuesday. So not this week, but next Tuesday it'll be on.
Yeah, mine.
It'll be live.
You have a listening appointment yet? Listening agreement yet?
He wants to finish it and do everything on Tuesday, but he wants to sign today. He wants the,
Oh, you're going to decide?
yeah.
Have him sign.
He wants the coming soon sign
Get her done.
and the, yeah. He
Okay.
wants the coming soon sign and the whatchamacallit, and the maid service there today. So,
How's Dave?
just like.
No, I'm actually in the middle of a meeting right now. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye.
You have to get a different kind of sign?
No, I'm gonna get a black and yellow sign. Just saying what he wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
And he didn't- Okay.
Which homes to hold open? Any and all, but ones where you get good traffic flow, where there's high turnover area, fresh listings create fresh interest. So ones with curb appeal, visitors are going to judge a house before by the outside before coming in. So in churches, in pastoring, this was always a difficult statistic, is that people have made up their mind. A high majority of people have made up their mind about whether they're going to come back to a church within the first 5 minutes of being there.
Mm-hmm.
So before I ever got up to speak, they had already made up their mind if they were going to come back again.
It wasn't even your fault.
That's right. Unless I was so amazing that they came back, which was all the time. We're sticking with that story. Saturdays and Sundays are the most common days for holding open houses, although in the summertime, a Friday night, a Wednesday night, evening one. especially a unique property where you can do kind of a wine and cheese type of a thing is not a bad strategy.
Diana Wallen, she used to do them all the time.
Yep.
She got really great listings,
Yep.
and people would be like, "How did you get that listing?"
Now, another thing that I saw the other day, which I think is kind of unique, but you need your sellers to be on board with it, is to have a nice food truck come and beat your listing, and you can either work it out where you're paying for it, and or and have it kind of a simple menu and work out a deal with them. But that's kind of a new thing where people are coming in, it attracts people, they hang around and talk. You have one agent inside talking to people, you have one agent outside by the food truck talking to them. And what I used to do, and I haven't done it for a few years, but I used to set up a canopy in the front yard and a barbecue, and I would barbecue hot dogs and hamburgers. And when they started coming in, I'd say, "Hey, go look at the house," and have some inside. Go look at the house, enjoy. You want a hot dog or a hamburger? Especially if they have kids. Oh, we'll take 2 hot dogs and hamburger. Great. Take your time, because it's going to take 5 minutes or so to cook up. And I'd be having either I or somebody be cooking the hot dogs and hamburgers up at a table there for them to sit at. They'd come out. I had times where I had people there for 30 minutes talking.
Avelia did the same thing, but even easier than that. She just had one of those little hot dog machines that just kept them hot.
Oh yeah.
And she had the buns right there in the condiments. That was it. She didn't even have to barbecue.
Yeah. But I like the idea of a food truck or the ice, the shave ice type of thing. But don't let them have it before they go in. It's got to be when they come out, because you don't want them walking with shave ice and syrup on it, making a mess. But any of those sort of things you can do that you can slow people down and have a chance to talk to them are great. So,
Would you do that?
Or attract more people.
and attract more people. Yep.
Food truck.
But would you set a price point on what you're doing this for your open houses, or would you do this on any price point of open house? Because if you have to go
Say
out of
depending on
pocket,
the neighborhood.
Yeah.
yeah.
For
So
sure.
so for example, I know this part of Pittsburgh. It's a quieter part of Pittsburgh, but it's not too far from the park down the street where I know a lot of Hispanic people play soccer.
Right.
And so I know a lot of them aren't opposed to hopping in one car and filling
Getting
up
a free
on
meal.
a taco truck and then going back and watching the soccer game. I know that. So I would not have.
You'd have to work something out with them and say, hey, we want to do tacos and buck a taco and whatever, and and this chance for them to advertise you work it out that hey, this is advertising your business as much as it's advertising mine, and it might be that the price for free taco or whatever you're doing is name and email address,
But you do that on all price point of home, it would.
I don't know. I think it has to be dependent on the neighborhood and what I'm doing. But if I'm going to do that, I'm certainly going to walk 100,
Every door.
100
yeah.
200 homes and have some sort of something that there says, hey, open house.
Taco
and
truck.
I wouldn't do a taco truck. I'd do some sort of unique type of a thing. We'll be there for the day, and maybe you've got a free item they can do, and if people want to buy something additional, they can. Maybe that's how you.
I don't know if I do it in this hot of a market, in this seller's market. I don't know if I
Why not?
I don't know. I think it'd be much better to do it in a buyer's market.
Well, I have a chef, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you
But
Chef here.
if you are
Winner, I'm going with Bobby.
are people going to remember you?
Yeah.
They're going to remember you. So that's the thing, is that they're going to remember you. They get your information, and hey, they get to the point that maybe 6 months later or a year later they're going to sell. It's who is that person? And if you've got the name and email address, you're working them. Then it's hey, I liked Maggie. She did that food truck, and a lot of people coming in, and at home sold fast. I liked how she did something unique and different.
I agree.
So if you're going to do it, you got to make sure you market it well to make it effective.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. That's right. So
If you feed them, they will.
that's right.
Very true.
Let's see. Open house timeline, you got that on here. So this is the 10-day timeline. Select the home you want to hold open, confirm date, time with the owners, order mailers and materials, add open house to info to the MLS and Weichert.com. And you can put that out, you can put dates a couple weeks out. You don't need to do it for the next week. You can set that up for, to populate down the road. Pick up doors materials and mail neighborhood invitations, prepare your call list. So there's a whole thing. So you want to know, how do I hold an effective open house? Make photocopies of that and follow that and do that. And I think you'll have a successful open house, and you'll begin to pick up clients in that. Open house timeline ensures you don't forget critical steps, because I always get to the end of it and goes, oh, I should have done that. Why did I think of that? And so it helps with that. Brings in a maximum amount of attendees, and sellers are prepared, they know what to expect. And sometimes they say, well, I went on the open house this weekend, or open house this weekend. Well, but if we give it some time, we do this, we get a better excitement for it and people coming in. So why 8 signs? Okay. Company studies also show week 1 small ad 4 signs equals 9 prospects. Week 2 large display ad 3 signs equals 8 prospects. Week 3 no ad 8 signs 28 prospects. You don't have it in there, so this is just a slide. So you're looking for that.
Where are you at?
So here's what they found. So they've done tests. So if we do a small ad and 4 signs, they got 9 people came through. Then the second week they did a display, large display ad, 3 signs, 8 prospects. Week 3, no ad, 8 signs, 28 prospects. So the signs were bringing people in. So people say, well, I want you to do a large ad and all that. Can, but it's not as effective as 8 signs, yellow signs with yellow balloons on them are far more effective. And so that's what we do that's unique. Anyway, for the open house, key actions to get people to your open house. Add open house to the MLS, and if you don't know how to do that, then see Maggie or I, and we can show you how to set that up for open house or open houses, or for broker tours, how to put that on there. Make sure it's feeding out to major real estate sites, Weichert, Zillow, Trulia, and our MLS does that automatically as well as Weichert does. Put 8 Weichert directional signs where allowed. Trilogy, you can't put anything inside the gate.
Look how cute that one is.
Which one?
With the blue, yeah, that's great. That's fantastic.
This one here?
Yeah. That wasn't there before, huh? Is anyone?
I don't know, might be. Yeah, I think there's a new one. Use Weichert balloons, 2 for each directional sign. Call the neighbors, and it's Kohl's is the name of the company for the phone calls.
What's it called?
Kohl's.
Like Kohl's, the clothing store?
C-O-L-E-S.
Oh,
Hi, Ronnie.
Hello there.
like .com or what?
Remind my address and I'll tell you. I just saw a thing on it this morning. Send postcards.
C-O-L-E-S.
C-O-L-E-S. C-O-L-E-S.
I don't know why I did that.
Because you're thinking cool.
Because she's at Kohl's.
Yeah, I was thinking Kohl's.
Distribute door hangers. Post on social media pages. Post about part of the open house and the day of. And Linda does a great job of her posts out there and getting that information out there. So those are things you want to do to get ready for the weekend. Oops, what did I do? Open house invitation calls. So what is an open house invitational call? It's a calls to the neighbors, potential buyers and sellers, to invite them to attend your open house. Well, why do it? To increase the number of people who attend the open house, meet potential buyers and sellers for future transactions. So if you're doing this, you can say, hey, this is Dave Hansen with Weichert Realtors, HH and Associates. Purpose of my call is to invite you to drop by our open house at 123 Main Street from 1 to 4. Do you think you'd be able to stop by this Sunday? Or I invite all the neighbors to stop by between 1 and 2 or 12 and 1 for a preview. And you can use the opportunity for an email address. If they have one, send that. Try to extend the conversation, get neighbors to attend, to get name, phone number, potential buyer. They might be a potential buyer. if you've ever been in the house, I hope you're able to visit us on Sunday, possibly compare our listing to your home. It's also a great time to share the information with relatives. Hey, if you got anybody, a lot of times neighbors have people that want to move, friends that want to move in the neighborhood, family want to move in the neighborhood, and anybody that has been asking you to kind of let them know about that. So, yes.
Oh crap, I forgot, never mind.
Okay. You can also do the same thing with knocking on doors ahead of time. If they don't answer the door, just put a door hanger on the door, but knocking and inviting, hey, we're doing an open house, special one for the neighbors, 12 to 1 on Saturday, if you can make it. We're gonna have some special treats to do a drawing for the neighbors, but just wanted you to see the house and get your input and thoughts on that. Preparing the sellers, contact sellers to make sure you have access to the home. Confirm the time of the open house. Confirm the condition the house should be in when they leave. Just important things. If it's a complicated thermostat and that, ask them to set it to a comfortable temperature depending on the day. If it's a hot day, you want it cool in there. If it's a cold day, you want it warm in there. The Tehachapi house, he's got a jacuzzi with a waterfall, so he showed us how to turn the waterfall on and off, so we had the waterfall going during the open house and that sort of stuff. Confirm the time of the open house. Provide them a preparation or a staging checklist so they know what to do. Don't assume that they know how the house should be. Tell them not to cook anything that morning for breakfast or lunch that has too much of an odor. For the next 5 days, I just want you to eat breakfast cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, and make sure you got a phone number where they can be reached in case there's an issue that comes up during the open house. And make sure that children and pets are gone. I know people say, well, it's really hard for me to get my pet out of there. It's just best if the pets are not there for a variety of reasons. Safety, kids that come through, pets, barking, animals getting in and out, that sort of stuff. So make sure you do that. Let's see. Inspect the home, make recommendations, tell them to cut the grass, remove hazards. So to Tehachapi, they wanted to have booties. I said, hey, we can do that. My only concern is, ask people to put on something they're not used to on a potentially slippery floor. You're just setting them up for a problem. So I just, well, can we put a towel there? Yeah, put it off to the side, and if there's any moisture and stuff that gets on the floor, I'll dry it up real quick. So you want to remove as many hazards as you can. Tell them to take out the trash morning of or day of, and put valuables away. That's a key one. Put valuables away, put things in closets, out of sight, out of mind. If you've got anybody who's kind of questionable that might be walking through, just give them a tour, so that you're making sure that nothing is sprayed from the house. We have had in the past where people had money stolen and that sort of stuff. So just try to do everything you can to keep things secure.
Make sure medicine comes out of the medicine
yes.
cabinets and in shoe boxes under the bed if you can, because I've had a problem with that before.
Let's see what to bring. There's a whole checklist thing there: brochures, directional signs, balloons for the signs, your name badge, business cards, your lockbox key to open up for the home, other current listings and sold properties in the area, mortgage payment sheets, or if you got a calculator on your phone, make sure that's ready to go. Contracts and disclosures, a sample contract and that, disclosures, sales folder, the I've got we didn't use it for that. We should have
I asked her if you used it.
Yeah, well, it's called the
board.
The board, yeah, our display board. Forgot to bring that out there and use that. So, open house guest register or do it online. Emily did it on the iPad and worked great. Almost everybody signed in and gave us information. Worked out really well. So,
Did you use the app?
I used one called Open Home or Open House or, I believe it's attached to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So that worked out really well, and people are just more comfortable doing that. And then they're not seeing a list of names, and they're not feeling like their information is gonna be out there. So there's a sense of privacy to it that I think was also very helpful too. So that was a good thing to do. Let's see. Map out cross streets and traffic arteries. Your signs need to be seen. So try to put them on busy streets, as many busy streets as you can find. We had some confusion at the Hatchby one. Maggie went way up the hill, and man, your signs are way off. And then Bobby went to take the signs down and realized that she went and grabbed this one sign and also realized it wasn't her sign, it was another Weichert company.
Yeah, it was in our office.
the-
That's so funny.
Like, I was like really mad, like, does somebody move the sign? Because she was saying, just be careful, people move the signs. You know, like,
Yeah.
like, that's why.
So, also check local ordinances on sign placement, and that, be there at least, boy, it takes a good 30 minutes to get 8 signs out with the balloons. So
Yeah, it takes a little
allow
while.
yourself plenty of time. That's why I like doing it in pairs, because one can be at the house, setting up the house, while the other's putting signs up, and then.
Yeah, or even if you drive together and one could be driving and one could hop out
Yeah.
and come back in. That's what I found is good.
Well, what I did with Sue is I was doing one, and she came down, helped me fill up the balloons, and then she put the balloons in her car, and then she followed me with the signs. I'd put a sign out and take off the next spot.
Oh,
She'd
that's
tie them
kinda
on,
cool.
and she'd follow me around, and then she took off after it was all done. So,
That was a good one.
display feature
Oh,
sheets,
fresh.
business cards, marketing materials, gold services stuff. Open the curtains, make it bright, make it,
Yeah.
turn lights on. If you've got a bathroom with a noisy fan, leave the light off. It's better to have the light off than the noisy fan going.
Right.
So, what's even better is when you've walked the house and you've done every room, you turn one on for the fan. If we could get that changed before we put it on, that'd be great.
It's such a cheap fix.
Yeah,
too.
it's a cheap fix. So the ceiling fan and the
Less than 20 bucks.
you
But
know,
there's something to tighten it, or?
just depends. I mean, but
You can
that's
change it, it's a couple screws and it's like 20 bucks.
yeah, that's part of the reason though that you do the walkthrough. Then you identify those issues that they can correct ahead of time. Put on appropriate music. What Emily and I played at Tehachapi, we had it was called Frozen. It was the Frozen Disney Channel, and it was all Disney cartoons. So everyone would come on, we were guessing what movie is it from and what's the song. So, and it was kind of a nice, fun atmosphere for people coming through there. At least it was fun for us. So that's all that mattered.
I heard you were singing.
Dancing.
Oh, you were dancing.
Dancing, but now people were there.
Yeah, now I remember. You were
So,
tap
I
dancing.
was tap dancing. Yes, I was.
Your version.
That wasn't necessary.
I'm sure you did great.
Thank you, mate. Let's see. I'd like to sell that house. I'd like to own that house.
I'd like to own that house.
Also, the thing to do is whatever the format for doors, have that out so people can see that. They can see your listing presentation there. Have it out in the counter, whether it be the big one or the flip up one, or you're on your iPad or whatever, your computer, and that. So that's a good thing to have there. Meet and greet, dress professionally, wear a name tag, smile, shake hands, be conversive, thank them for coming to your open house. Have a pen, business cards if you're registering by hand. Ask all guests to sign on the open house guest register that you're using. This is for safety and purposes. The owners of homes asked me to do that, and so just get that and use that information there. So also take clues from people that are coming in to open conversations and talk. When we walked neighborhood, we walked away from Strong's house. What was your comment to me?
Oh, the guy was wearing
New England Patriots
yeah, he's wearing
shirt.
a Patriots shirt, and so because he likes football, he had a lot in common to talk about.
I asked if he was a Patriots fan. He said, "No, actually, I hate the Patriots." I said, "But you're wearing the shirt." And he goes, "Yeah, my son played for the Heritage Patriots youth football team." And then we talked about that, and then we talked about his son's going to Freedom next year. I'm the voice of the Falcons, do announcing. We talked about his daughter plays softball. She's a pitcher for them. I know Amanda, the coach, and so we just had all sorts of things we talked about with that. So it just built rapport and relationships. So take a cue from what people are wearing, what they're, anything on there. I've had before where, particularly like black ladies that have all the braided hair, and just, it's like, I look at it and go, how long did you have to sit to have that done? And they usually say like 6 or 7 hours. Like, oh, man, that's a commitment. That's great. That's the coolest looking thing. But man, I don't think I could sit there for 6 hours, because yeah, you go for about 2 or 3 hours, you take a break, eat some stuff. It's an all day thing. It's kind of a fun thing, and just open up conversations with people just on something like that. So take cues from people that are coming in with interested. They come in with kids, how old are your kids, that sort of stuff, and then Bobby, you say, yeah, I got a couple of brats at home myself, and I'm done with brats.
What are you trying to say?
I got 10 grandkids. I'm no one to talk about,
Yeah.
brats. Although Clay was really good yesterday. He came and I watched him while Melissa was doing the tour. He was great. He was sick. That helped. Let's see. Meet and greet, open house. Dress professionally, wear name badge. Thank him for coming. That sort of stuff. Why is it important to get everyone to sign in? Safety and security is one of them. Also, record who came and reports to seller and manager. So when you do open houses, I want to know how many people came to your open house. So keep track of groups as well as individual people, because we report that stuff, and that helps us with our statistics, knowing who we are. Objection, they say I don't want to sign in, and just, hey, the owner of this home requests that we have all guests registered before viewing the property. Smile, you can understand that, can't you? If you were holding your home open, you'd want to know who's in your home too, So instead of people aren't coming with an agent, they just want to know who's walking around their home. So
I've had people not want to sign in before, and I usually will tell them, I'm sorry, it's safety and security for not only my seller, but also for me as well, just in case I go missing.
yeah.
They want to know who's coming in the house, and then I'll kind of jokingly say it, so then once I say that, they're more willing to put at least their name and phone number. They'll say oh, I don't want to put my email because I don't want to get spammed. Okay, that's fine, as long as they put their name and their phone number, that's fine.
Right.
But I have had to tell people I'm sorry, I can't let you see the home if you're not willing to put your information in.
Yep. And the other thing is, if you haven't do it on there, they have no idea once they push submit where that's going. For all they know, it's going straight to somebody else who's keeping track of things and what's going on. And so that's a safety thing right there. If it's written on there, there's not a lot of safety if it's handwritten, because it's I'll just pick up the sheet and go when I killed you, But that, they don't know where it's gone to. Sorry. Edit that part.
Yeah.
Objection number 2, I'm working with a real estate agent. No problem, we show the home for now. If you'd like, just sign your name so we have record who came for the owners of the property. Or I also say, hey, great, that's great. If you can put your name and just put your agent's name, that way when they call, I can, I know that that you're working with them, and it'll help me with that. So it's to your advantage if you decide you want to buy the house. Let's see. The homeowner would appreciate it if you sign the guy's register or do that. If you don't want me to be contacted as for follow up, I won't. I'll make a note of that. So if you want 0 contact from that, that's fine. I'll honor that. But that's kind of a last resort thing. Let's see. Objections. Here we go. So, should you tour the house with them, or should you let them wander?
Let them wander.
Okay, why?
So that if they want to talk about things, you're not they're making them feel uncomfortable.
Okay, that's one thought.
I don't know, I have different feelings about that. It depends on
they're taking too long somewhere, maybe.
I don't know. I like to kind of, if there's enough of me, if there's a couple of us, I like to follow them around. And that way I can tell them, oh, I'm just, I just want to point different things out to you as you go through the house. I think it's, I don't know, makes me very uncomfortable to just let somebody wander because I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It makes me even more uncomfortable. Now, one time though, I was by myself and I had two gentlemen that came in that I was kind of following around, and they actually like kind of cornered me into a bathroom where the bathroom part of the floor was missing. And that totally, completely freaked me out. So I'll never let myself get in that kind of situation. A neighbor came over and came inside. That could have been very bad. But a neighbor noticed that they were like very strange and came over. And I had already hit to call Jaime to come.
Right.
And of course it's gonna take him some time to get there. But the neighbor came over and kind of was like, hey, what are you doing in there? And can I help you guys? And oh yeah, the neighbor asked me to come check on you. And the people left. But that was really, really freaky. So never like get into a position where you can't get yourself out. Don't back yourself
turn the
in.
heater off. That makes all sorts of noise.
Don't back yourself in, but also it's a good idea to follow them around because you don't know what they're doing.
Right.
You don't know what they're doing and you gotta protect your cellar.
If there's a lot of people there, I'm
That's hard, yeah.
less prone to follow them around
Yeah.
because
Or if it's a family, then
Yeah.
you're less prone to follow them too. Yeah.
because there's there's a bunch of people coming through. They're less prone to do stuff because there's people coming through. But if it's also a unique home, an interesting home, you're going to want to tour them and show them the unique things that they probably wouldn't notice or see on their own. You want them to understand those features and know what it is and define why it's unique. So there's different pros and cons of that. So at every open house, ask everybody comes.
It's for closers.
Yeah, coffee's for closers. That's from
That movie, yeah.
Glenn Ross. Is that what it was?
I don't remember, but
Yeah.
I remember it.
Nope, this was a movie about real estate. Yep.
I remember it. I just don't remember the name.
So ask people if they're interested in making an offer on the home. Is this a home you'd be interested in putting an offer in on? Well, I'm just kind of looking. But is this one, the couple people that, they offered it. Yeah, I think I'm probably putting an offer in on it. And the one did, and she's in contract now. If they say no, you have an opening to ask for an appointment for a buyer consultation. So what are you looking for? Are you working for, are you working with another agent? Are you just kind of like going to open houses and hoping you find something? Or do you want a more specific search? I'd like to sit down with you and meet with you and kind of help you through that process and make it less frustrating for you than it may be right now. So do that. Open-ended questions are good. Where do you live now? When do you want to move by? How long have you been looking for a home? Are you renting? Do you own? Do you have another house to sell? All those are open questions, open up other opportunities. Let's see. They're at the end of the open house, turn off lights. Maybe leave one on in the kitchen or something, but turn off the lights, clean the kitchen area, remove everything you brought with you. So restore the home to its original condition. Well, not its original condition because it was built probably 10 years ago. So write thank you notes to the prospective buyers and secure the home. Open houses, especially if there's valuables and stuff in there, you don't have as much of an issue on. Well, you do. Just always go through and make sure that windows are locked. Because we've had in the past, no, we haven't, but in the past people have unlocked and come back later on and broken the houses. So always just make sure that things are locked up when you leave. So, is that what you're going to talk about?
I was just gonna say, make sure that you have, when you're closing it, especially if you're doing it for another, like either another agent or you're doing it for somebody else, make sure you know for sure what that seller wants, or you talk to your seller about what they want, because I've had people not want me to turn off all the lights.
Right.
They want me to close up and then like leave a TV on or something to make it seem like somebody is still home.
Yeah.
So just make sure you
Yeah.
have, like,
One time I locked the garage door. I locked the
Oh,
garage
yeah.
door and then I locked them out. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't get in their house. They had a clicker. Yeah. that stuff, that had to go all the way
Yeah,
back and.
yeah, so that's a good thing. How do you want me to leave the house when I leave? You know? Yeah. Take down signs, thank neighbors, you know, for the, you may have had signs near theirs. Call listing agents with activity report. If you're not the listing agent, follow-up calls, emails to attendees, put all prospects in contact management system. What I do is I did this last one, but I try to put the information right away that I get of information in my database. So I take my computer with me, I make sure I've got internet access if it's available there, and then I just input stuff and do that as I go. So then I have to try and remember to do it afterwards. Follow-up call, every open house guest should receive a follow-up phone call from you within hours of the open house, or if you don't get phone numbers, emails, just say thanks for stopping by and being part of that. We've got some follow-up. We've got a lady on a trip who's looking to buy. And do you have a phone number on her? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Emily's doing follow-up with her, and we're trying to help her to find a house now too. So you have one good prospect that you can turn into their sale. That's perfect.
Every single person that signed in, as soon as they left, I emailed them the virtual tour of the home too.
Right on, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So they had that right there. So let's see. Why follow up? Because we know that 74% of open house attendees purchase a home within 6 months of visiting. It gives us a competitive edge. Most real estate agents will not call them back. They won't deal with it. It's consistent with our full service image, and it protects you from appearing discriminatory. So follow up on everybody. Follow-up call, there's sample dialogues. You should always have planned opening and follow-up. What you're going to say, how you're going to follow up, and all that sort of stuff. And there's a follow-up guide, just dial it, follow-up guide. And that's on, you can find that stuff on Weichert 1, and it's in there for you to look at and to know. I won't go through the sample dialogues, you can look at those. But open houses can be a great source of future business. And if we turn that one person who came through into another buyer, we've doubled our investment. So, but if you're not trying to close, you're not building a relationship, you're not talking to people, you're not following them, you lose the opportunity. And you get one chance to make a good first impression. So, whatever you're doing out there with open houses and that, make sure you do that. Okay? We'll get that listing, Maggie.
Yay.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's what I meant.
See you in a bit.
Okay.
Go.